weather first, and I've got an out-of-this-world forecast. At least starting off the week, but ending the week, ooh, it's going to be a little dicey. 94 degrees right now, 8% humidity. That's not bad. I mean, we should be right in the thick of the monsoon flow, and that's not going to happen tomorrow either. But by Friday and maybe the weekend, wait to see the changes coming up in Weather First.
Tonight's top story on Channel 13 Action News. For the fourth time in as many weeks, vandals target a community organization aimed at keeping kids off the streets. And it's happening after millions of dollars in renovations at the Boys and Girls Club of Henderson. Good evening to you. I'm Nina Radetich.
And I'm Steve Ryan, in for Steve Wolford. Now the organization is asking for the community to help catch whoever's responsible. Tiffani Sargent joins us now with the story. And Tiffani, the kids themselves have to be most upset over this.
You bet, Steve. That's right. These clubs are like a home away from home for thousands of kids across southern Nevada. And for them to hear about someone physically attacking a place where they have fun and feel safe, well, it's very alarming.
The last few weeks we have had someone coming in and throwing eggs at the building, rocks, concrete, and resulting in numerous broken windows.
More shattered glass and frustration at the newly renovated Boys and Girls Club of Henderson, costing the organization thousands of precious dollars in donations.
The windows are anywhere from $250 to $600 to repair, depending on which window's been broken.
4 broken windows in just 4 weeks. Fortunately, no one's been hurt. Still, many members like Mahogany Feaster say it's frustrating to see someone attacking a place they take such great pride in.
What would you have to say to someone who's doing that? It's just very wasteful. I mean, you could do something more educational or energetic on the weekends instead of breaking windows.
At the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southern Nevada, thousands of kids are off the streets playing checkers, foosball, a game of hoops, video games, and doing homework. But there's zero tolerance for vandalism.
My history tells me it's probably not kids that come to the club. It really isn't. It's someone that's jealous, someone that probably should be in the club than outside the club.
The CEO is confident the guilty party will be caught, but unfortunately during these tough economic times, the vandalism is hurting the kids the most.
It goes all the way around. It's just, it's really very disappointing, very, very, very much.
Well, this club in Henderson has more than 2,000 young members who rely on community donations for a place to play, learn, and feel safe. Henderson police are keeping a closer eye on the club, and neighbors and members are encouraged to report any suspicious activity. Tiffani Sargent, Channel 13 Action News.
Tiffani, thank you. The club is always accepting donations, especially now. For more information about it or how you can donate, you can find a link on our website, KTNV.com. A rec center in Henderson had to be evacuated this afternoon while the Valley's bomb squad investigated a suspicious package. The Whitney Ranch Rec Center is near Galleria and Patrick. Unfortunately, the package ended up just being a cooler. Police cleared the scene after a few hours.
A mix-up at the school district is creating some headaches tonight. Just days before school starts, a mother is told her son can ride the bus, only to find out later it was all a mistake. Heather Klein is live tonight at a local bus yard with a You Ask, We Investigate update. And Heather, this mom is worried that other parents got the same wrong message.
Well, that's because, Nina, she and several other parents got a letter from the district with the wrong information. Now, we first told you about Leslie Jean when she was told her older son could ride the bus, but her younger son cannot. Tonight, an update on a You Ask, We Investigate report.
For Leslie Jean and her 2 teenage boys, Northwest Magnet School is the best fit. Problem is, the returning junior is good to go to ride the bus all the way across town, but freshman Tyler is not.
I mean, it was like up, down, you know, high hopes.
Leslie already knew Tyler, because he's a Magnet School freshman and out of zone, can't ride the bus thanks to budget cuts. But the fact her older son still can didn't make sense.
And he says, well, he's not eligible because he's in 9th grade. And I said, but I have a letter that you guys sent me. He said, well, that's got to be a mistake.
A mistake that struck twice. Saturday, Leslie got a voicemail.
Your child is eligible for bus transportation.
Then a letter with Tyler's name on it saying he could ride. Both are wrong.
My thing is, you know, some parents just may not even be aware of it. They might just get their letter and not even think about it, you know, come Monday morning, try to get their kid on the bus, and the bus driver's like, your name's not on my list.
We called the district, and the superintendent over Northwest told us they apologized for the mistake, and they've called every ineligible parent to let them know. Stopping the confusion, but Leslie still needs transportation.
Well, Leslie tells us the district superintendent has been very helpful. In fact, she's working to get Leslie on a waiting list. So after the first couple of weeks of school go by and there's room on the bus, Tyler will be able to get on it. Reporting live, I'm Heather Klein, Channel 13 Action News.
See how it pans out. Thank you, Heather. The Las Vegas-based doctor at the center of the Michael Jackson death investigation spoke publicly for the first time today, and he's using the internet to do it. Dr. Conrad Murray released a statement by posting it on YouTube.com.
Your messages give me strength and courage and keep me going. They mean the world to me. Please, don't worry. As long as I keep God in my heart and you in my life, I will be fine. I have done all I could do. I told the truth, and I have faith the truth will prevail.
The message is presented as a thank you to patients and friends for their support during the investigation. Murray's attorney confirms that the video is real. It was shot last week in Houston.
A guy who called himself a prophet, then was arrested on suspicion of sex crimes against children, has died. 76-year-old Benito Catello died of natural causes at his home on Monday. Police arrested him in July after 2 teenage girls told police that he forced them into having sex with him at his house. Catello ran a church called the Ministry out of his home. The doctor at the center of the hepatitis C outbreak here in southern Nevada has been ordered to testify before creditors next week. Deepak Desai is scheduled to answer questions under oath about the bankruptcy of his 3 clinics. It'll be the first time he's talked publicly about the hepatitis C scare. Desai suffered a stroke after the case broke last year and has been staying out of the spotlight ever since.
Kids are heading back to school soon, but before they do, health officials are working to form a distribution plan for an H1N1 vaccine. The swine flu vaccine hasn't been approved by the FDA yet, but health officials say it's expected to be ready by the fall.
This is a pretty comprehensive vaccination strategy in a relatively limited amount of time. Nobody's really sure when the H1N1 vaccine will be available.
Dr. Glasser also says that for now, parents and kids should be vaccinated for the seasonal flu virus. Health officials on a state and local level plan to meet next week to talk more about swine flu preps. A model from Las Vegas who was reported missing was found dead over the weekend. Los Angeles police say the body of Jasmine Kincaid was found stuffed into a suitcase Saturday morning in Buena Park. She recently worked in ad campaigns for Howard Stern and a few hotels here in Las Vegas. Police say she was strangled, and now they're looking for her boyfriend. Authorities in Utah have called off their search for a woman from Henderson who went missing earlier this month. Andrea Roy went hiking August 6th in Cache County and never came back. The Cache County Sheriff's Office says a missing persons case is still open, though. Searchers used everything from helicopters to four-wheelers and dogs, but never found a trace of her.
A man had to be taken to the hospital today after watching his home go up in flames. It happened around 6:30 this morning near Rancho and Gowan. Neighbors say the homeowner was outside when the fire started. The flames were so intense that firefighters wouldn't go inside because they were worried that the roof would collapse. Neighbors tell us the home is destroyed.
30 years we've lived next door to each other, so.
Never had anything like that?
No, nothing. This is the first and hope never to see another one.
Firefighters are still looking into what started this blaze. The man went to the hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation.
Nevada's domestic partnership law goes into effect in October, but starting next week, you can start filling out the forms. It gives domestic partners, gay or straight, many of the same rights and benefits offered to married couples. On Monday, couples can begin to pre-register. To download a declaration form, log on to KTNV.com and click on Action News link.
Until now, we've really thought of the healthcare industry as fairly recession-proof, but tonight, Sunrise Hospital announced it's laying off 100 employees. That includes 12 registered nurses, as well as some managers and support staff. Sunrise says it has to cut those jobs because it's getting less money from Medicaid and because it's handling so many uninsured patients. The hospital is working with those laid-off employees to help them find other jobs. County employees will have to wait 2 more weeks to find out if their bosses will cut jobs and services. The Service Employees International Union is hoping to avoid that. It wants the county to move money from the Capital Improvement Fund into the general fund. Union leaders say at least $244 million could be moved to protect jobs and social services.
Our numbers still indicate there's $244 million sitting in there that's unallocated right now.
The suggestion from the union came after weeks of meetings with county managers, but county commissioners say they need more information and won't vote on the issue before their meeting September 1st.
We have new information for you tonight about the Privé nightclub at Planet Hollywood. Looks like it's back in business, at least temporarily anyway. Today, the county commission gave the owners a 30-day liquor license. Privé lost the license in June after reports of illegal activity inside the club. The club's owners applied for a new liquor license after firing some key employees, including managers and a security director. A new restaurant will find out tomorrow if it'll be able to move to Las Vegas Boulevard. This is an artist rendering you're looking at of what Dinner in the Sky would look like if it moves next to Fashion Show Mall. Get this one. The company charges people about $200 to eat dinner 160 feet off the ground. Steve Wynn doesn't seem to like the plan, though, and he's fighting it. The county commission is expected to make a final vote tomorrow.
And we've seen a lot of that in other cities around the country, and if any place it could work, it would be Las Vegas because of the low average rainfall. I mean, they would be able to run that thing all the time.
300 days a year, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'd be focused more on the height than dinner.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Brian Scofield checking in now with our weathercast.
True. No one ever seems to want to eat dinner in a cave. Why is it always you have to go up? Why not come down? Is it the view thing? Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Probably. A cave's a little stifling, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Stalactites and anyway.
Stalactites.
Yeah.
Stalagmites.
9% humidity. Nellis. Look at these. These are some nice numbers. 9% Spring Valley. We've had single digits for a couple of days as far as the humidity levels go. Dew points low as well. But that should change. We should get a pretty good surge coming up. The monsoon flow that we haven't seen in a while coming up for the weekend, probably even starting as early as Friday. Stratacam looks nice, very nice, calm evening. 105 degrees officially today. Normals put us at 102, so we're a little bit above normal. Overnight lows a little bit below normal. So still pretty decent for this time of year and not so stifling. What you're not seeing is some moisture coming in from the north. There's disturbance to the north that's helping to send a little cloud cover our way. But with water vapor imagery, you get a better look at it. This is not rain, but it's certainly not as dry as it is down to the south here. All the milky white clouds are the moisture down here in the shaded area. That's all the drier air, and we have plenty of that around for the most part, especially across Southern California. Not so good for firefighting efforts, but high pressure is going to help pump in more moisture as it builds in. So do anticipate changes by the end of the week. Let me show you what's left. Ivana, Claudette, not a whole lot. Bill, a Category 3 hurricane. That's a 125-mile-per-hour maximum sustained wind hurricane. So it's a big one, and it'll probably strengthen a little bit more. It's out to sea right now, but it bears watching, that's for sure. Here's what we've got for tonight. Really nice temperatures, 66 Pahrump, 47 Mount Charleston. Overnight lows are pretty decent. Afternoon highs just fine, right about where they should be for this time of year. So we're not too much above normal, but we'll likely feel well above normal, even at 102 because of the added humidity we'll get in by the weekend. But if we only get a few surges of the monsoon flow as we kind of wind it down by about the middle of September, when we can usually say goodbye to it, then we've done pretty well. That's a nice bonus to, get a little bit of it and just say goodbye to it for a while, and maybe a little bit of it returns. So it's been pretty nice to us.
Uneventful monsoon
Pretty
season.
much,
yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
All right, thanks, Brian.
All right, guys.
It has been a rough few months for anyone in the American car industry.
Yeah, but today there is finally some good news from one company and the people who work for it. Find out what it is coming up.
Plus, sending your kids back to school can get expensive, but Contact 13 will tell you where to save money on school supplies coming up. You're watching Channel 13 Action News, where you ask and we investigate.
And in Contact 13 tonight, there are 3 words parents love and kids just hate: back to school.
But in today's tough economy, you're probably wondering who has the lowest prices on school supplies. In a hidden camera investigation, Contact 13's Trisha Keene shows you where to find the best deals.
Like most parents these days, Amanda Bixman is back to school shopping.
Paper, pencils, like binders, folders.
And when it comes to picking a store, Amanda's criteria is pretty simple.
Probably the selection and then price.
Amanda usually shops at Target
because it's convenient for me. It's close by my house, and they usually have really good sales at this time of year.
But how does Target stack up when it comes to value and selection? To find out, we took a hidden camera inside several Valley stores. Armed with a list of the top 10 things the average Clark County School District student would need, we compared prices on everything from folders to notebooks to the classic No. 2 pencils. We started at 99-cent only stores where just about everything is, you guessed it, 99 cents. We found a great deal on these pocket folders. You get 9 for just under $1. But the aisles were fairly unorganized and the selection was limited. For example, we couldn't find the dry erase markers that were on our list. The estimated total cost for our 10 items, assuming the markers would have been 99 cents, came to $9.35. Not too bad. Our next stop was Amanda's favorite, Target. The aisles were more organized and the selection was better. We found those dry erase markers we couldn't get at our first stop, and we found some better prices too. Spiral notebooks at Target were only 20 cents. A 24-pack of Crayola crayons only 25 cents. But altogether, the total came to $10.31, about $1 more than at 99-cent only stores. Next, we stopped at Office Depot. If you're looking for selection and organization, this is probably the place for you. Here, everything is clearly marked along one main aisle. But you'll pay for that easy shopping experience. Remember those crayons we found at Target? Here, they're 99 cents, 4 times as much. A pack of 2 glue sticks, $1.55. But there were also some good deals, like these pocket folders for only 5 cents, the cheapest we found. Grand total at Office Depot, $12.99. Our last stop was Walmart, whose motto is, "We sell for less." And they're not kidding. If you can deal with the larger crowds, you can save some cash. We found everything on our list, like spiral notebooks for only 15 cents, a 3-pack of glue sticks for only 88 cents, and perhaps the best deal of all, 24 pencils for $1. No one even came close. Items were a little less organized here, but for a grand total of $8.81, the cheapest we found for the 10 items, you might want to just deal with it. So we showed our findings to Amanda.
Shopping at Office Depot, I have found that their prices are a little higher than the bigger stores like Target and Walmart.
She says these days picking a store just because it's your favorite may not always be the best idea.
If the prices are better, I will be willing to travel the distance to go to a different store.
So here's the Contact 13 bottom line. Each store we went to excelled in some areas, but not in others. Contact 13 did our best to compare the exact same items, but remember, different stores carry different brands. Our list was taken from a local elementary school's website. But if your kids are a little older and need things like specific types of calculators, don't expect to find them everywhere. And remember, even if you don't have kids, this is still the best time of year to buy paper, markers, notebooks, and any other supplies you may need around your home or even office. For Contact 13, I'm Tricia Keene.
Contact 13 is always ready to help you with a consumer problem. To talk to a volunteer, call our hotline 368-2255 any weekday between 11 and 1.
Congresswoman Dita Titus has been in office for less than a year now, and already her seat's being challenged. Today, Republican businessman John Guidry announced that he's running for Congress against Titus, who's a Democrat. The election is next November, but he filed the paperwork today. Guidry was raised in Las Vegas and is very active in the community. The Nevada Supreme Court Chief Justice or Attorney General may become our next U.S. District Judge. Current U.S. District Judge Brian Sandoval announced his resignation last week. Democratic Justice James Hardesty, Attorney General Catherine Cortez Masto, and Washoe District Judge Brent Adams are being considered as replacements. President Obama will make a formal nomination of the candidate, then the U.S. Senate must confirm him.
General Motors says it's ready to get things cranking again. The company is about to increase production by 60,000 vehicles and is reinstating more than 1,300 jobs. They say it's mostly because of the success of the Cash for Clunkers program. Ford also had some good news today. It raised its sales forecast by 500,000 vehicles.
Political columnist Robert Novak has died after a year-long battle with brain cancer. He was a central figure in the Valerie Plame CIA leak case. He was the first journalist to publish her name. He also served as co-host of CNN's Crossfire and as a columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times. Robert Novak was 78 years old. Well, a woman and her dog are counting their blessings tonight.
They survived a trip over a waterfall. That one. Find out how it happened next. Brian?
Taking a look at the pollen count. It's in the low category. Trees, weeds, grasses, molds, all in the low category. Air quality is good. Stay with us.
So a woman and her dog took a pretty treacherous trip over a waterfall in Oregon recently.
They were hiking in Columbia Gorge when she decided to take her dog Taz over to the water so he could get a drink. Well, Taz slipped into the water. She jumped in after him. The current took them right over the edge. The woman says she's just happy the water was so deep.
Like when we were going over, I was worried about there being rocks underneath. I thought that for sure we were gonna splatter on some rocks.
They fell more than 30 feet. She cut her arm, but other than that, she and Taz doing just fine. Firefighters did have to pull them out of the water.
Well, game on for a lot off the price tag. Sony is slashing the cost of PlayStation 3s to get a jump on the holiday season. You can now get the 80 gig version for about $300 and the 160 gig version for about $400. Gets better. Sony will launch a lighter, slimmer version of a 120 gigabyte hard drive next month. That one will cost you about $300. Not a bad deal.
Not at all.
If you're a gamer. Well, tonight, one city is cheering its hero and another one is jeering a traitor.
The latest on Brett Favre's return to one of the Green Bay Packers' biggest rivals. Doug has that in Action Sports.
Frustrated.
There's no light. It's dark. It's scary.
Nowhere to turn.
I've reported it to the office and nothing seems to come from my reports.
Action News got answers. How can we help you? And now, Doug Kezirian with Channel 13 Action Sports.
For the past year and a half, Brett Favre has flirted with the Minnesota Vikings. But since he played 16 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, no one could really fathom him in purple, despite all the rumors and speculation. But that thought, as wild as it may be, became a reality. Yesterday, just 3 weeks after saying the door is closed, Minnesota brass convinced Favre to sign, and that his shoulder is healthy. One day later, he's suiting up at Vikings practice.
Green Bay, it was unbelievable. It was great. And that will be forever cherished by me and the guys I played with. And, you know, they've moved on. I've moved on. I think it's great for football.
Well, it'll certainly be great when the two teams play each other twice next season. Well, ABC debuted a new reality show tonight, Shaq Versus, where Shaquille O'Neal takes on superstars in their respective sports. Today at Planet Hollywood, he shot an episode that will air in a few weeks, boxing Oscar De La Hoya. Forget the differences in weight and size, about 200 pounds and 15 inches, although Oscar has the quickness. They'll go 5 rounds, each wearing 16-ounce gloves and protective headgear. And by the way, tonight's debuted episode featured Shaq against Ben Roethlisberger. Each quarterback the 7-on-7 series. Big Ben eventually beat Shaq, although the Diesel showed some game. A touchdown pass, nicely done. And then on defense, look at Shaq. It's tough to get it over his head, right? Picks it off, and like all good defenders, he starts sniffing end zone. Pick 6, although it didn't count. Even Big Ben had to chuckle, and he got the W. So they're taking this pretty seriously.
Yeah. Why weren't they wearing helmets?
Is Shaq's head just
it's just the quarter? It's a 7-on-7. It's called shell.
Okay, that's
offense.
why.
It's fine, but the players wear.
Worried.
You can't miss him on the field, like on the court.
Yeah, he stands out. Thanks, Doug.
You got it.
We'll be right back.